You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only do so looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. Steve Jobs. A very lovely quote reminds us that we have to keep going. Now, welcome to another episode of Designers Diaries, a show where we talk with designers, creators, and entrepreneurs on a mission. In today's episode, we speak with Victor Emisho, the founding designer at Plumter and design educator on YouTube, as he connects the dots looking backwards on his journey into design and tech. From programming.
Before I even got into UI UX design, the first thing I actually tried was programming. But then I was like, you know what, this is this is not my and I ran.
To working for experience as a designer.
For me, I wanted the opportunity to work on hands-on projects. I wanted to hear clients' expectations, and then I wanted to take those clients' expectations and then turn it into design. Well, that was how I was able to build up some small experience
to getting a job offer without even applying.
Even this job, I didn't apply for it. I just saw me and I was like, oh, I like your work, and that was how I got the job.
And lots more. Get a cup of coffee as we unravel and learn from the story. Let's go. You're one of the first designers that I contacted during my design journey. That was back in 2022 or 21. No, I think it was 22. I met on LinkedIn after I saw your post on this
Okay,
yeah. Then we had a call. You're like, you know what? Just try. I think was it Code Outreach you said I should try one time when I want to do freelancing or something. I know it was crazy. I think maybe I didn't do it too. I'm a bad mentee, but but yeah, it's been a while and it's a long time coming. So I mean, I really appreciate you. You've been really amazing in this journey and knowing you. And thanks for being here on my wannabe podcast.
The pleasure.
So yeah. So how would you introduce yourself? Like for those that have never heard of you before, what's the best way you share them like the light of Emisho?
Please. Well, yes, my name is Emisho Victor. I'm a product designer. I'm a creative designer. Well, I think I try my hand as a creative designer, and I've been doing this. I've been doing this design thing for the past professionally for the past 4 years now. So, I also personally, in my personal side, I enjoy doing working on creative design. I enjoy trying out new, fresh ideas for web designs and web design. I think my favorite part is actually making things move. So I don't call myself a motion designer, but then I like making interactive design. So I think that's really where the whole creative design aspect comes into play. I like to design them to look good and also like them to act really good as well. So I think that's what I really enjoy about creative design. But then as my full time job, I'm actually a product designer for a fintech company. So yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of my career so far. So good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was just thinking about it because when I was researching before our call, I was doing some research and shit, at first it was just how you call Z12, going into one, and then
Mhm.
from that period to now, I've just been looking through. I'm like, okay, what's what am I gonna talk about right now? Because Uru wasn't prepared, so it took me I was just going through everything, YouTube, Behance, and then I didn't know when 15 minutes has passed. I was just going through your work. It's crazy. Bro,
Mhm.
it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's I say that's impressive if you ask me.
Thank you very much.
You like making things move. I know. For me,
Mhm.
I think I like doing the same thing, but I started with motion design before I got into product design.
Mhm.
But I won't call it motion. I was
Mhm.
doing After Effects, new later into a career, and I was wondering, since you like doing most interactive stuff on the web, do
Mhm.
you hand code it or you stick with the no code approach? I noticed you do use no code, but I was curious if you code too.
Okay, no, funny enough, before I even got into UI UX design, the first thing I actually tried was programming. But then I was like, you know what, this is this is not my and I ran. So yeah, but I think what I needed really was something to ease myself into the whole what do you call it, tech ecosystem first. So the easiest way for me to do that, and the most passionate way for me to even do that was even design. So currently I actually don't code, and I try to stick with just using feedback to create design. I think at some point it was actually XD, Adobe XD. Personally, I still prefer XD for personality because I think it's more robust and it has more functionality when it comes to interactive design. But then currently, since Figma, everything I design in Figma mostly just easily just animate there. So just type there and interact and make my stuff interactive. So currently it's just Figma alone. But then I feel using Figma to create all this has kind of started easing me, started making me gravitate towards learning how to like code this thing. So in my spare time, I take up practice to actually like do all these things. But then I won't say I'm a pro yet. And has problem what's it called, using code to create functional any functional
Yeah,
or interactive design. Or eventually.
I get you. Because for me, I will, I, where co- I don't code per se, but I would love
Mm-hmm.
to. It's like so.
Yeah.
There's some days I'll just go online and I'll just see. Because I have this. I'll let you decide. But I have this. I see some people, but like just randomly, this person is a founder of so and so, 20 something years old.
Mm-hmm.
Built multiple indie. Just like, oh my god, somehow okay. You
Mm-hmm.
think they can code this? So I guess
Mm-hmm.
it might be like competition, maybe, and also be like, okay, I want to build something. What do I want to build, and what's how will I put it? Because there's a period in is it last year to this year, I did this coding challenge. I was like trying to code every day and all.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I saw that.
Okay, awesome. And I wanted to build a YouTube downloader. I can trim your like let's say this is on YouTube now. You want to trim from year to year and download it, download the
Mm-hmm.
audio. The idea was amazing in my head. I didn't know how to what do I need to do it, like I don't know. Is it HTML? Is it CSS? So I started from the basics, got there to the end. I didn't even get it done because I was overwhelmed. I don't know what's possible. I don't know what tool you need to do this thing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that's like the thing that pains me about coding. It's not really it has also complexity before you can
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, maybe one day I'll get the hang of it. But now I'm with no code doing webflow stuff and trying to get the hang of that one too. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's there. Anyways, in the next section, Victor and I discuss the roadmap to becoming a UX designer and also ways you can improve your design skills. Let's get into it. Let's say someone is watching this video. Person started their UX journey last year. For example, I have friends like that. Someone reached out with me on Twitter today and like, but it's not as if I know a lot of things on design. I'm basically fresh here, but someone reached out to me and yeah, please, I don't understand. Like, how can I get into this UX thing? What should I do? So I was like, okay, you know what? I thought since we're having the call today, I should ask someone like you. If someone wants to like get started in UX, I have my thoughts on this,
Sure.
so I'll share my thoughts. But once like if someone wants to get started in UX and like get good at design, get a job, what do you think is the roadmap best thing to try to get that kind of goal?
Okay. So I think one thing I just want to like just address that before we go forward. You said something about you always ask someone like me. So meaning like I'm still you feel like I'm like someone that's good at it. And I don't see myself like that. I do see myself as someone who's like really struggling to get better at the craft at my craft. But yes, I think maybe from my own experience, I always say I speak from my own experience. So for me, what I would say that the first thing how to get good and then like the road have to follow to like getting a job and everything. So getting good and also getting a job. I think one of the things I always like would like to mention is that focus on actually like getting better to craft. That's really it. The job part is going to come, although it's going to come once you actually get good. Although maybe you have to like put yourself out there, but then focus on getting better at your craft really. And to get better at your craft, the only way to get better at design is by designing. Like it's not rocket science really. There's no watching any amount of YouTube videos. There's no thinking a lot about design that's going to like really get you like better. You have to actually design. You have to design and design and design and design because you're going to stop at first. You're going to stop at first, but then be proud of what's it called. Be proud of the person already is and keep trying to like improve your craft. And one thing I also try to recommend to beginners is that copy a lot. There's no harm. There's no bad thing because there's no what do you call it? There's no bad thing. I don't know if that's a word, but there's no big deal about copying other people's work. So when I say copying, I don't mean like copy and then what do you call it? Take what do you call it? Or take what's the word?
Inspiration.
And maybe exactly and maybe make the work become like yours and say, okay, no, this is my work. And don't like that's one. I think that's one thing that cause like controversy on Twitter a lot. So one thing I try to do at the beginning is that if I used to like see products, maybe I see the products I use. Maybe I use YouTube a lot. I think I just came across YouTube back then when I started design. I was like, you know what? I have a few thoughts on how this app could be better. So I just took myself and then I just, at that point, I used to take screenshot of that and then put it in my paper. And then I use Exhibit. But yeah, I would put it in Exhibit and then I would design like over the design. So that was where I actually got to like know a couple of rules that unspoken designers. I mean, they're spoken, but then you don't really find them out there. So that's when I started to see that there were patterns to what these design elements I was seeing. The mobile app was not just like designed randomly with like random fonts, random what's it called, font size, random space and everything. There was actually like a pattern to this thing. So trying to copy a lot. And if you want to get better at that early stage, and try to like understand the fundamentals of design, try to understand spacing, try to understand the what's it called, font usage and all those things, and then try to improve on that and getting better. And once you have maybe once you've gotten past the phase of like copying, maybe I don't think you really get past the phase of copying work. Like even as you keep growing, if you see a work, you like try to like replicate it. And so I think that's the word, replicate people's work, so you can like actually like learn a thing or two from their style of the design. So once you're doing that, another thing I also try to do on my list was to like look for real life projects to work on. Like there is no, I feel like there is only so much growth that you're going to get from replicating people's work here. Replicating people's work should like be like something you do like by the side, not like it should not be like your major like what's it called? It should not be like your major thing. So try to like look for hands-on project because the only way you're actually going to get like hands-on experience actually like working on real projects. So for me at that early stage, I used to have so it's always really tricky getting projects at that early stage, at that early stage because again nobody wants to hire like a total beginner. But that's one thing I try to do. One tactic I used there. So I'm just going to talk about my experience. So I used to have this guy there that was like a web developer. Like he was also like a beginner web developer. I think he was even interning at a firm at that point in time. So they used to like give him like some projects and everything to work on, some web projects to work on. So what I would do is like, I would tell him, you work as a web, you work as an intern. Can I help you design some of your work? So because it was my friend, I used to like offer my service. Like, let me help you like design this website today while you like post them. So like just I would do my own thing. I would design it for him, and then like he'll give feedback, and then I'll use those feedback to implement on it. And he would also like run the designs like by his bosses there, who thought he was the one designing it. For me personally, I really do not have any issue with that at all because I mean, for me, I was just like happy to like have the opportunity to like work on hands-on project. And then it wasn't paying anything. Sometimes like you probably give me data, but then I didn't really mind because for me, I wanted that opportunity to actually work on hands-on project. I wanted to hear clients' expectations, and then I also like take those client expectations and then like turn it into design. I also hear client feedback and then take those feedback and iterate on my work and everything. So that was how I was able to like build up some small experience. And then I was like, okay, you know what? It's time for me to actually start getting like client projects. So one thing, so I noticed like some designers actually like one stage I realized some designers actually get stuck in like the early stage is that when they want to like start getting jobs. So they are like, maybe they have to like design until when they can like get an internship or get what do you call it, get a full time job. That's the only like route to go. Well, for me, I didn't really even wait. I mean, I was looking for like full time job, but then I was not actually like looking because like if it comes, it comes. What I was really focused on was actually like going out there to actually for clients and for myself. So the way I used to do that was that I would probably like find small businesses. So one thing I noticed, like, sorry, I say one thing, but then I'm actually like trying to like think of how my whole experience went, and then new information keeps coming to my head. But yeah, one thing I also noticed some designers still do, some early designers still do is that they are looking for like big clients. The truth is that you may not actually ever get to work with those big clients until you actually like also big yourself. And until like you have that, until you're like that senior designer, you may not get those big clients you're looking for. So like looking in that direction may not really work for you. So one thing I started with was I used to like look for small clients a lot. So small clients in the sense that I would probably be maybe when I'm browsing the website or browsing social media, I would see like a small business, maybe like I think I remember there was one I saw. There was one I saw. They were an ice cream business. They were in the business of selling ice cream. It was a new business back then. I was like, you know what, this guys, they would be actually cool to like just reach out to and then offer to like design a website for them. So that was my first venture to like trying to like look for source for my project. So I really need the idea of like at the early stage source for what's it called small businesses as your clients. You're going to like find out person that are going to be willing to like let you like give it a go and they're just say, you know what, I really don't have anything to lose, so I'll just go ahead with it. So at that early stage, I was even offering myself for free. At the early stage, like the very, very early stage when I started with my first two clients, I was like, I am willing to do this for free. I just want to like design something for you. So there, because again, I think one of the good things that I had back then was I had a friend who was a web developer. So I could easily say, I can build this thing from end to end. I told the clients I can build it from end to end. So they didn't know that I was just a designer, but then I would offer that I could do it. So what I would do first is I would design like a maybe like just the homepage for them at first. It's okay, here is a suggestion I have. So sometimes even before I even reach out to the client, I had already like done a design for their business already, and then propose it to them. Oh, this is a what's it called? This is something I think you would like for your business. I think I just like offer the benefits and just like talk. Again, one thing I think that people should learn, like as early designers, is the art of networking, the art of selling yourself. So I used to like sell myself. Like, I would sell my work and say, okay, this is why I think that this would be like beneficial to your business and everything. And then I'll just talk them through like the benefits of the website and my thought process into like I design the website, then show it to them. And of course, they would, because I mean they are small clients, they don't really know what is great design here. Although then I think at my point, my own perspective, then I think I was doing great design, but then I looking back, I know it was terrible design. But then I still think I was doing great design. But because again, this guy is not like know what great design is here. They
Mm-hmm.
were okay with like the bare minimum. Although for me, it wasn't very bare minimum, but then that was the best I could do at that point. But then the best I could do at that point was enough for these small clients. Yeah, so small designer meeting small clients, it was just the perfect match. And that was how I was able to I was able to like get my early first client. So those clients, I started getting there, then one or two, and then I started charging for what's it called, charging like small money here and there, small money here and there. And then that was how I was able to build a portfolio and then attract an even bigger client. So um even the job thing, the full time job I'm currently doing, like it came out while I was not looking. It came out after I had like started putting out a project because again, one thing you should do is like push your work a lot. So don't think about oh I'm not getting likes, I'm not getting. 'Cause one thing I noticed is that the people that are even going to employ you, they don't follow your social media. They don't even like your work. They don't even like look at like they're interacting with your work or anything. They will just randomly comment and say, "Oh, hi, I've seen the work you're putting out. I like what you're doing. Let's work together." So that's one thing you should focus on. Just focus on putting your work out there. Don't ignore any noise. Ignore what people are saying. Ignore the like bad things people are saying about your work. And if they're giving constructive feedback, of course, listen to them. But then ignore the fact that people are not liking your work. People are, your work is not getting traction. Just keep posting. Have a repository of your work. Have a documentation of your work out there for the sake of putting your work out there. So that's one thing I also like to recommend you do even at that early stage. So I started doing that, and then the clients are reaching out to me one by one. Oh, I saw your work. I saw this work. I like what you're doing. And also, I try to like pick unique projects that people like, projects that people are not really working on. I try to like do what's it called, really nice stuff, interesting stuff. Like projects that I don't really see everybody else doing. If everyone is doing crypto, like maybe crypto, okay, back then, my days, it was food app. Every beginner was doing food app. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do food
Delivery.
app. And, exactly, delivery. So I was like, I'm not going to do this. I look for unique projects in the sense that, okay, apart from the client projects, I used to look for personal projects myself. So I would see maybe like a mobile app I'm using and say, okay, this mobile app, this is how I think it could be improved. This mobile app I use and I know the in and outs of this is how it can be improved. And I go back and then I design something around that. I don't design the entire thing. I try not to like overwhelm myself with work. So I pick a small part of the project and then I redesign to like solve that particular problem I'm experiencing, or the particular pain points I'm experiencing with that particular app. And I posted it as one of my personal projects. So those things where I was able to gather experience, attract clients, and also like grow as a designer. So I feel like that's the combination of those things like just like helped me on every point. It helped me improve the quality of my work, helped me improve my networking skills, helped me improve everything. Really, and then I was able to attract even this job. Even this job, I didn't apply for it. I just my current full time job. I didn't apply. Pressure on me, and I was like, "Oh, I like your work," and that was how I got the job. So that's really my story in a nutshell. I feel like you follow these steps, it's going to help you get your first time job.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like I don't know. I have so much to say right now because this was like a masterclass on its own. But I was like I like some patterns. As first, I wanted to share approaches that may or may have not worked for me, but I've had in the past.
Mhm,
But I feel
mhm,
like I should just on down on this first. So one thing I've noticed from everything you said so far regarding getting a job or growing as a newbie designer is number one, it gets good. You can't escape not being good. And for me personally, I felt like last year was I felt like I wasn't good enough. Maybe that's the reason I doubled down was like this challenge, one time after the other, just doing, I don't know. Am I still good? I don't know, But yeah, so get good. Copy. I started doing that stuff this year, copy designs. So yeah, I attest to that. It really works magic. But also some interesting ones I found from what you said was real life projects and collaborating with devs. People
mhm,
kind of
mhm.
underrate that one. The collaborating with devs, like many designers even have friends that are developers. Even I didn't until last year when I wanted to work on a side project. I was doing this sync meets last year. This
Yeah,
secret
yeah,
app,
yeah. I remember, I
yeah,
remember.
it's
Mm-hmm.
pending. I didn't launch it. My friend said we can still work on it as a side project. If so, we might still launch it this year. But the idea was like to make a calendar competitor and something that can be used for calls like this. Yeah. Anyways, it's there. It's still in my Figma lying down. I didn't put some behind. It's nowhere. It's nowhere on the internet. But yeah, But because of that, working on that project, I connected with devs, and one of my friends, a close friend of mine now, we worked on some projects together, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just and those are the two friends. I only have two developer friends that are close to me. Only two people.
Mm-hmm.
So I find it very crazy. Like just from that one person alone, I've worked on some projects. I think that's crazy. And work ethic. I think I don't know. It's my from I listen to podcasts a lot. I read some books. I try to read some books, and I feel like work ethic is something I need to tell people that are, let's call them crazy. And I think you're one of the crazy ones, because from what you said right now, like trying to reach out to businesses and doing the design upfront, um, doing design upfront. What other thing did you mention? I'm trying to like recall. Collaborating with friends, like being proactive, not just waiting for opportunities to come
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in a way, I would think I don't give myself the credit, but maybe I'm proactive too. I'm not sure, but I feel like I kind of slacked off when I approached it as a design in the design career. So before I was in social media management. Sometimes I'll see a business and like, oh, your carousel can be better. I'll design a carousel and send it to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's like my first gig, actually, my first freelance gig ever. Like, how do I go? But when I approached design, I was like, okay, maybe I didn't apply that mental model to design, but I just feel like people, those are proactive and with epic work ethic, set a wood sound like everybody's working here and they're just like, yeah, because yeah, they're never on the same um mind frame, I guess. Anyways, so I think that's a very big tip. You're just waiting for the person to come and meet you. You're actually like looking for the opportunities and making the moves for
Mm-hmm.
yourself. So okay, I hope you enjoyed the tips you shared. One of the major points I enjoyed from what is said so far was that your focus should be on getting good and not just getting money. And in the process of getting good, you can also work for free, work for experience, whatever opportunities you have in front of you, take advantage of it and be proactive. In his case, he had a friend who was a developer and he did designs for him, and that way he improved way faster than he would have if he was also designing on his own. Think about things like that and maximize those opportunities in your life. Now, let's talk about good versus great design. I want to highlight on a point. Sorry, I'm talking once again, but I want to highlight on a point.
No, no, that's fine.
He said something about what he did a few years back. I think like 2 years ago, 4 years ago. You can't compare what you do now. And even though back then you knew the design principles, like okay, it's color, it's this, it's that. What separates your good work from your great work now? Because I don't know if you're that designed it, but the Plumter website, I checked it out, bro. What amazing! So I'm like, okay, like what's the secret? Like, is it? This is great work to me right now. I'm like, what separates good work and great work?
Mm. Okay. Personally, I don't think, first of all, I don't think I'm at that point where I can say, okay, I'm a great designer first. I think I got great design, and my great design, what's it called? My great design, I can tell what great design is. I can tell what great design is from other people, but I can't tell if my own is great design because, again, it's one thing for you I feel like one challenge you may have is that sometimes we tend to like overestimate like the impact our designs, or we tend to overgrade our designs here. And I always try to be humble with my design. I always try to be open to like feedback and everything. So I can't really say that I can tell you I can't tell you that I can tell what my great design is. Uh, what I think, what I think, which the mix up I think that's going on here is that I can tell you what great design is from like a user perspective, from like a UX perspective, yes. But then visually, I think most time we tend to as designers, we tend to focus on the visual part a lot. We tend to just focus on that how it looks, and then we forget how it works. So I think
Yeah.
from from a UX perspective, I think that's where I think my strongest point is. Although I'm actively trying to improve on on the visual part of things. I'm always trying because there's always more to improve. Yeah, I mean, like, there's my mentors I always look up to, and designers like this guy Luke Chisak, that guy is so good. Like the guy is so talented at everything. So yeah, I try to look at their work and then compare it against my current work, and then I try to like look what is missing, what does this guy, because there's just this secret sauce. I can't really explain it, but then there's just secret sauce that the guy just has that. Or like this guy now, everybody knows, oh, Boozy had this Tara. That guy is really, really good. Like, just his work, just not his work is good. Like, even though he just puts a
A
alphabet in the
button.
middle of the screen, it just look good. You can't tell what's they just so I always like look at this thing, but then I feel like at the end of the day, it's actually like the attention to details that this guy's pay. Like if you look at that guy's work, like, there's so much attention to details. He makes extra effort. He goes the extra mile. mention like the colors and not just like flat colors, answer like some small things to them. The text, even typography, like because typography, um, maybe typography is like for a good font, for a good font, because I some fonts are actually like I don't really like that some let me use what typefaces. But then not every designer knows that if you are using a font or if you're using font, it's the word for the time. I keep messing them up. Or typeface. Once you write it, there are like settings that you're actually supposed to like tweak to make it look like you could tweak on your what's it called on your design canvas to make it look better. So you could actually tweak the what's it called the kerning, the line height, and all those. So if you tweak them, it's just going to make it look better. So all those small things, all those small unspoken rules are the things I try to like learn. That I think those things actually would make great design. Like this small extra effort that anything that people put to improve on the quality of what they're making. Instead of making just a what making a if you don't make a button, instead of just making a rectangle and then putting text out of it, they go as far as maybe adding a small shadow underneath it, adding what's it called, adding a subtle border radius, adding some small like those small tiny things that they won't tell you, or they can't just randomly tell you but that you have to like study yourself and then understand and say, okay, these are the things that those are what actually make a great design. So at the end of the day, always put extra effort, even on that website, which thank you very much for your feedback. But yeah, I was glad that you designed the correct one. So the Fanta website, like all those, because my boss, I think one thing I really like before is that he knows how to like give great feedback. He knows what great design is, and he can always say, oh, this thing, something about it is missing. This is what I think. He just like gives like random opinions, and those random opinions I just like those random speeches just making. I always try to like pay rapt attention to them. In fact, all those things you see, I can like take them, put them into my then like add them to make it look like for some reason. He always like whenever I do those things he says or those random things, it looks better. It comes out looking better. So I'm like, well, why was I missing? So those small extra, and also another thing that makes great design is also like paying attention to client feedback. So not just client feedback, but feedback generally. So feedback, constructive feedback, not just although maybe some people may not know how to like give constructive feedback, so the feedback comes out as bad feedback in here. But then, regardless of any kind of feedback, I feel like there's still something for you to like take from there and then go and like try and design. So at the early stage, when I used to get feedback, I used to feel downcast. When I hear, I'm like, "Ah, I feel this work was perfect already. Now, why are you telling me something else about it? Why are you saying that this thing doesn't look good?" And again, like I said, as designers, we tend to like overestimate the quality of our work sometimes. So me, even though when I do that, when I hear, so sometimes client feedback is like, or it's always like a very, what's it called? It's like a bucket of cold water poured over you. So it makes you calm down. Then you think critical about, okay, this work I'm actually putting out. Is it the best I can do? And then you integrate all those people and then you realize that it's actually not the best you can do. And then there's still one thing you could have added to your design to like make it, give it some sparkle. So I'm saying all this like, from the visual perspective, but then even this also applies to like the user experience as well. So even as much as you're paying attention to what great design looks like, you should pay attention to what great design feels like. What is the experience of what's it called? What's the experience of design? Does the experience feel disconnected? Does it not feel seamless? So your design has to be seamless. The experience has to be seamless for it to be great design. It could look good and not work good, and that does not qualify as a great design. So I think why Apple is really praised as what's it called, the masters of the great designs because they pay attention to not just how it looks, but how it feels, how what feeling it gives you and everything. So yeah, that's just basically it.
Wow.
Mm.
That was I felt that for real, and I think one of the major things I've learned this year because I got my first job this year and I left my job this year again. It's crazy. Sounds like I'm one bad employee, but one thing I learned from that job is actually putting the extra effort. So there was a period like I thought I was good. Like I should have a job by now, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
designing, I'm doing this, but then we work on a project and okay, so is this it? I send it. How can I explain the scenario? So I worked on a project, sent to them, like, oh, this is terrible. Now looking back, is a shitty website, But from lack of good feedback, I think my issue there was feedback. Like, just say, like, fix it. Fix what? I automate to fix. You just tell me to fix it. I'm not telling
Exactly.
what to fix. So, and that thing frustrates me. Like, I have to like reach out to my friends personally. It's like, what can I fix about this? And they're like, oh, you can do this. Add more visuals. Add more this thing. That thing has made me like the details. I still don't feel like my details are even good enough. But like, bro, that's really helped a lot. Just realizing that
Mm-hmm.
this was you are seeing it as, and you can see it more as yeah, and like, so yeah, that's feedback is definitely something. There's one time I did a redesign. I copied someone's work. Let's call it copied. I'll be honest. Let's call it copied. So the guy, these
Mm-hmm.
people on Twitter where they say like retweet my post and I'll give you my Figma files for free and stuff like that. You see
Okay.
them on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I did it
Mm-hmm.
for one guy. I got his Figma files. I went there and I was studying the designs there. I saw one of his files, his hero section, and it was pink and stuff. Okay, you know what? This is very nice. It did use negative. When a text goes over or an element goes over a text and it has this negative feeling, like it was white
Mm-hmm.
before, then it's black now when the text is with it. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what it's
Mm-hmm.
called, but like yeah. So I saw that and I like, how did you do it? And I replicated the design, but this time out and I changed from pink to blue. So I
Mm-hmm.
never posted it and I tagged him like inspired by so and so. The guy did me like, bro, like that's the copy, so I don't disagree, Sha, but like I'm happy he gave me feedback and he didn't call me out on Twitter like, bro, yeah. So
Oh, but
I
that's
just
good. Like you can get inspired by it. That's good. It's really, really good because that's the way to go. It was not your work; it was someone else's work. Like you go inspired. So always like give credit. Hey, I feel like designers, we all have like at the end of the day, we all have ego. We all have ego. And once that ego to be massaged a bit sometimes. So when we see our work being used by someone else out there without being given credit, it's always like thanks, thank you. So
mhm.
yeah, that was good on you for actually giving credit to the guy. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So like let me the story to end the story is like I now the next week or something I was looking through Y Combinator websites. I later didn't reach out to the person that owns the website, but like I saw one, the guy's website was not bad, but then okay, details right. So the button I added one gradient, one shadow, one nice stroke, all those nice stuff, and just the
Mm-hmm.
hero section alone. So it's like one of the best work I've done last quarter. Like that button alone, I spent like almost 30 minutes on the button. 30 minutes on the button, it was crazy. And when I posted it, like people like, ooh, I was like, oh, I can't be this
Mm-hmm.
thing now. I can't be this. But yeah, it's like it shows how the details can really make a difference. I've experienced it, so I definitely agree too. Um, okay. I hope you're taking notes. But if you aren't, let me share the key takeaways from what you have said so far. On grid design, the details matter a lot. From your choice of typography, colors, spacing, and so much more. All of these little details add up to creating a whole beautiful experience. And many people think about grid design as visual, but they should also think about the UX side of it. It's not enough to just be fine, but it has to be functional. So on being functional, incorporating feedback from your clients, your friends, your stakeholders, whoever it might be, learning from others and being open-minded can help improve your design skills as well. Now let's talk about good UX. You said one thing you mentioned was like you actually have more solid footing in the UX side of things than the UI. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which I know you are very strong at UI because I watch your YouTube videos too, and you're badass. So I'm not curious, like the UX side of things, did you have the strong footing before you got the job, or when you got the job and you have to like experience it real time? Because I
Mm.
feel like what I'm going through right now, or what most people are going through, is like when you're doing freelancing most times, or you're practicing on side projects, you don't really experience the real time user feedback. So you're just like
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
book for
yeah,
the
yeah.
books.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. So, user experience basically. I think what even got me into design really, I was not even the visual. It was actually like the feeling that products easier and use that. Even when I started like started my design career, I started like picking up side projects. What I used to focus on was the experience. What I used to focus on like improving when I pick a personal project is the experience of products I'm actually using. So then I was using, like I said, I think I mentioned each project, which is still one of my favorite projects because I really think that I like did lots of thinking into that thing. I even till now, like I even because at times when you as you go, you're like, okay, maybe that thing was didn't really make any sense. But even now, I'm still like 4 years into like design. I still personally think that was still one of my best work because I did so much thinking into like just small things that these guys could have done at that point to like improve the experience like drastically for what's it called for new users. Because then I was thinking I was a new user to the app, which is why I have like so much to say about the app. So yeah, my what got me into like the whole design thing really was like the experience of products. Products should like not just look good because anything could look good, but they should actually like function well. I think that's why I did not like stop at being a graphic designer because if I became like if I like delved into like a graphic design, I was actually doing graphic design. I was doing graphic design and I was also like trying to like learn programming at the same time. But then I was not satisfied with just graphic design because at the end of the day, I'm now trying to like to tone down like the what's it called, the impact of graphics, and graphics that has its role to play. But for me, I felt like at that point, I felt like, oh, my design is just they're going to probably end up as posters, as logos, as and that's the end of it. People are not going to interact with this, like interact on a day to day basis. And I was not satisfied with that. I was not. It's like this feeling of satisfaction. So again, now I'm more experienced. I know that graphic design is just more than those things. But then at that point, actually the people that I was working with them, it was just come every day and design poster, flyer, and the flyers and everyone like utilizing them properly. So I was kind of feeling what's it called? I was feeling unfulfilled really. I was like, this my work should be doing more. So that's when I realized that there is a kind of design that actually designs products that people use that they interact with day to day and that people want to call that people experience day to day. So that was what really caught my attention, and I decided to go into the design field with the hopes of improving the experience of every single product I can touch in this lab. At that point, I was so ambitious. Like any product I see, I'm going to like redesign them, improve the experience and everything. So it wasn't about vision for me; it was always about the experience. But then, I feel like every designer has the opportunity to like improve, even though you're not like you're because typically when you don't like have a full time job, and you're committed to like every daily improving the experience of the product you guys are building, you may not really like be thinking too much of critically about the user experience. But then I feel
Yes.
like you can still make that considering experience of products, you can make that a habit. Like just make it a habit, even in your day to day, even in your day to day activities. For example, like even like as I move around my house, like even for website design, there are things I have to consider. Like if the what this is just a very silly example, but then if maybe this water is on the edge of the table and it falls. And then it spills, and then this is somewhere that people pass, and then they can sleep on. So those kind of small things that I consider, like even in my day-to-day life, there are things I still carry over into like the design space. That I consider, okay, if I put this thing here, but is it going to cause an accident that's going to like cost us maybe or cost users like maybe their time or cost even the company even money at this point? So make the habit. Don't wait until you start designing like a big product or anything before you before you make considering user experience a priority. So that's just really my take on that particular. I think there's also something I was going to add, but I can't remember now. But maybe later. Great user experience is not noticed. Great user experience, like I think you don't notice
There's a
it.
quote.
So if
Yeah.
people are not complaining about your product, just so that you're doing something great on the user experience part of it. But then once people part of it, know that the hand is more to be improved upon, and there's always more to improve upon on anything. So
Mhm.
um, that's just on that point. To add the hope
Yeah.
as well.
It reminds me of. I think there are multiple books do make me think the design of everyday things. I didn't finish reading them.
Mm.
Oh. I started them, but I didn't finish. Like I get bored of those books so easily. But yeah, they really like for example this in design of everyday things. This guy mentioned about the kettle. Yeah, sorry, the kettle that
Yeah, carry
there's
one
a
pots. Yeah.
yeah carbon pot and stuff. So yeah, I feel like yeah, it's the details that make the difference. Just like you said, even in the UX too, the way I approach the craft in the day-to-day things, like it's this little details that sets people apart. Like some for me now,
Mm-hmm.
as a newbie now, like a few years ago, my mindset to 2022, not a few years ago, my mindset was like, how can I get good? How can I get that job? How can I make that money? How can I become that tech bro? You know? And after being the motions of what's it called? Of like trying to get become that tech bro, you know. And it's like this is no joke. This is no joke. And like you actually start becoming excited with the details like okay, this button. Oh, I remember this time I posted a tweet on one of my work last year on Twitter, and this lady gave me
Mm-hmm.
feedback like, "Your card is not centered well. Like, it's one thing like, like wait. I usually realize in your eyes that you're
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
it was like, it's just shows like if you do the work, just keep doing the work. Like it makes a difference. Just minor difference that yeah, it's crazy. And nobody sees the hard work. Nobody sees it. Just
Nobody
human
sees it
being.
honestly, but then that's it. You're going to like feel that personal reward, personal sense of fulfillment when you
Yeah.
do those things,
Delayed
and then
gratification at best. Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
You know, good design and good UX come together most of the time. One of the things I enjoyed Victor talking about was thinking about what happens after an action has been taken, which is like the second order effect of your design decisions from your day-to-day life. If I leave my phone on this table, will it fall down? If I put this button over here, is it more clickable? Things like that are important to think about in terms of UX. and they will help you improve your design thinking skill and other skills in your life. So I really enjoyed that point, and I hope you did too. If you're also taking takeaways from this conversation we're having, do share them in the comments. I would love to see what you learned from it too. Last time when we had this podcast, that it will have this network issues that we have to postpone it. We first started with your journey as a designer, where you started with graphic design, then web
Mm-hmm.
design now, and now I'm trying to fill it up. I am actually curious on why you like creative web design or creative design. When I was going through your YouTube, I saw like you did some spline work. I was even watching one before our call. So this spline one about the
Mm-hmm.
um this
Gem.
yeah,
Gem.
that was yeah. So like it was
The
very this like
diamonds.
when you move
Diamond
on
house.
it, yeah. So it was crazy. Like
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I just find it like okay, and I feel like many people that are interesting actually have like stack of skill set. So design here, then 3D here, then motion.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just multiple skills together with a love for
Mm-hmm.
music, anime, like in your case now. And so like I'm just curious, like okay, so what gave you like this passion for creative web design? Like where did this start from? What makes you
Mm.
drawn to it?
Okay. So, why did I say one thing a lot? I said, when I want to say something, I say, always say, start with one thing. But yeah, there's a lot of things really, so it's not just one thing. But yeah, um, I, I don't think when I started like design, I really like had a niche I wanted to, I wanted to like, major in. That's the thing. I just like design in general. Like, I just want to design anything like I could get my hands on. Although I have had some particular fields I was interested in. And it's always good to have some fields you're interested in. I was okay. You know what? At some point in time in my career, I want to design for fintech. At some point, I never liked fintech, by the way. At some point in time, I want to design for some industry. I think my favorite industries back then were AI. Like when I started out, I was like, oh, I was so passionate about AI. I had seen lots of sci-fi movies. Then like growing up, in fact, even till now, I'm still like a sci-fi movie. So I used to like those futuristic UI and everything. I used to like the way things like being done in AI. Where you tell Jarvis, oh hey Jarvis, and then Jarvis would do whatever he wants to do. So I was comparing that what I was seeing in movies against what I saw in real life. Then I was like, I don't think this real life like really gives you that feeling of what you have in movies. So I want to be part of people that are going to improve on build out those features. But also, one thing I was really interested in was self-driving cars. So I still am interested in those things now. But as you start to like start from the bottom, because again you have to start from somewhere. Those designs, if what's it called, every niche is like if or maybe every niche is like a step by step stage. I think all those like AI and what they at the close to the end stage, because those like as for people that have had experience in like have rounded experience in here, they've had experience in like different walks of life, and then they can sum those experiences together to like to design for those like those very advanced niches in design. So for me, I started like with just the typical normal design website, design mobile apps, and all those things. So you have to learn from the basics. So you have to start from. You can't just jump into start design for example. So I had to start design for mobile apps, and everything. And then along the way, after I had like gone, so I feel like at every point in time where I don't know if it's for everybody, if it happens for everybody, but they have the more you keep adding to yourself, the more you keep realizing like you are gravitating towards like different you're finding interest like new interest and new interest, new or even renewed interest in like different niches. So currently, I think it was last year or thereabouts, I started like seeing our award website. Even when I started like, I was still checking our awards. I don't know if you know awards. AW, everything everybody knows awards.
Yeah.
AW, where I think the best creative website. So I used to check out that website a lot, and I was hoping that at some point I would get to design this kind of a websites. But I never really had the motivation to like go into that field until last year because again, those websites, that niche is not like a beginner niche. It's not a niche that as a beginner you can just get into. So I I not luckily, but then at that point I was just like noticing. I just focused solely on like getting good at the basics, designing websites. I'm sorry to say that I'm not trying to like again whenever I said this, I'm not trying to like read any this or anything, but then the simplest place to start from is like to start designing websites, designing their mobile apps, and then dashboard. So, and that's like the natural progression that I took in my career. Websites, the mobile apps, on website, let's say websites and mobile apps, and then I moved into dashboard design. And from dashboard design, I was like, okay, you know what? I have learned the basic enough to move into because those creative designs, you need to like have mastered the basics to be able to like put things together, and then make it work in a creative, in quotes, creative manner. So I had to learn the
Yeah.
basics from all those simpler fields first, and then I was like, okay, this is a field I'm ready to step in. And then last year I started like doing explorations. Even before that, I've been doing explorations, but they're not really good ones. Because last year I really like wanted to like hone that skill a lot and also like share my exploration. Because again, I feel like creative design goes visually, it goes hand in hand with like interactions. And interactions has always been something I really, really liked from the guest, but I've always like really liked design. So I just like I had honed my skills in interaction and in basic visual design enough to start like putting things together in a in quotes creative manner. And then like make sure that the visuals look good and also like the interaction also works really good as well. So it's just like a natural progression. It has been a natural progression. So if this can like just give you an insight. If you are trying to like get into creative design, this can give you an insight into how to get into it. Learn the basics first, learn interaction first, and learn interaction, learn visual, basic visual design, and then proceed into like a creative design. So that's
Yeah.
it.
I think it's like you can put in a way like you have to like learn the rules to break them. You know?
Exactly, exactly. Because creative
Yeah.
design is about breaking rules in creative a creative manner. So yeah, you have to learn the rules so you can break them
Yeah.
creatively.
And now talking about like that the way people are breaking the rules and doing more innovating. Let's go innovating, you know. So innovating and I saw a tweet the other day. I don't know who made the tweet, but like people are complaining about if you landing page. Remember, as at last year or last year's, I when what I needed as a landing page was like okay, section, hero, copy, benefit. Now, oh
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
this is bend the
Now you can already
grids,
describe what you like.
this.
As in everything's dancing, everything.
So like now it's like designers. I feel like maybe don't designers. I speak for myself. Like I feel like bro, if I cannot design this god rays in a webflow design, I don't think I'm good enough. Yeah, I think I'll find out to do that now. So I'm not curious. Like what's your take on it? Like is it like are people over innovating? Because I
Mm.
just I won't call it over innovating, but I spoke to someone just a tweet. I replied to his tweets. He made some, he did some explorations. And I'm like, oh wow, very beautiful stuff. And I told him like, nice work. Do you think you can build this a framer or listen? And it was like I'll make you responsive. Even that was my question. I was like, I think maybe he said yes, maybe he said no. I'm not even sure. But it was like, if designers are not innovating, what's the point, you know? So bro called me out. So and I, so what's your take?
Mm. So I think there like designers should over innovate really like they like allow designers to run well, like go crazy and everything. The crazier they run, the more ideas we have to play around with. It's left to you as like a personal like it's left to some of us as designers to now take all those what's it called over innovative things and then see which can actually fit into like real life scenario, real life products and day to day products that we use, and then use those ones to so there's always room. There's always like what's it called room for every amount of craziness people want to do. There's always like a target audience. So allow people like allow that what's it called. So the create I'll call them like the creative designers. Allow the creative designers to like go crazy. Let them do all fresh new things. It's only through what's it called over innovating that we can actually like, see new ideas. Because I mean, at the end of the day, design is just about putting rectangles, drawing circles, and squares. So if people are like bringing fresh new stuff, fresh takes on how to like do those rectangles creatively, allow them. And like, there's no me, I don't really see any issue with that. Even in my creative design, I think one thing I think working in a what do you call it? Not fintech, let me call working in more traditional design industries has done for me is that even as I'm designing creative design, I still have this mentality of I want to make it usable. I want to make it usable because again, I have that like back what's it called? I have that by what's the word again? So I have that history in working in a traditional industries where everything has to be usable. So as I'm designing creative design, I'm still trying to find a way to like make sure that I am balancing that creativity, that
Mm-hmm.
wild creativity with what's it called, realistic execution. Also thinking about the developer as well because one thing about I think working with a developer at the early stage taught me is that not everything is achievable, but not everything by a developer. I mean, not everything is achievable for a developer. So that's just the challenge. So I always trying to like make things work for
Developers.
the level of the developers I'm actually like working
Yeah.
with. So that's just how I think. So a lot of people run wild. In fact, there'll always be like a space for those things because I mean, in sci-fi movies, you see like those sci-fi UIs, they always create those where you have holograms and whatnot. So if the designers were not over innovative, they would not have gotten to that like level of what's
Mm-hmm.
it called, that level of polish and finesse in sci-fi movies, and they should not give that futuristic feel because imagine you're watching a sci-fi movie and then you're still seeing like the same UI you're seeing in real life. It will not feel sci-fi again. It will not feel futuristic. But
Mm-hmm.
you'll be like, why are they still using this basic landing page in futuristic film? It's not
Oh,
future. So there will
projector.
always be like rooms. Do you get? There will always be
Yeah.
room for over innovative people. It's left for us to take the ones that can work. Like it's left for some of us as designers or some designers are working like in consumer industries to take those things, those over creative things, and then like let me use the word the word dumb them down to work for like for day to day consumer for day to day
Accurate, yeah.
functionality. I wanted to even like mention like this example. Like this example was in my head. But remember there was a period where there was this whole craze about what's it called? A neumorphism. Yeah, I don't think you're familiar with neumorphism. There was
Yeah,
this
yeah,
whole
yeah,
craze
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. I don't know what like the neumorphism was like it was like the feature because and that was only born through like over someone trying to like over innovate. So at the end of the day, most of us are like, you know what, this thing cannot work. But then there were a couple of companies that still wanted to like implement like some part of it, like take some part of the office and then implement it into like specific parts of their design language. So there's always room to like take all those like wild ideas and then put it like into like very, very specific parts of day-to-day products and find a way to make it work. So without by innovating, you cannot find fresh ideas. We always be stuck with the same old, same old, same old, same old, same old. And then at some point it gets tiring.
I agree too. I Yeah, I know sometimes I always wonder like, is there ever like do we to survive in this creative industry? Does someone need to actually like love the craft so much? I don't know if I love design this much when I started out, but it's like how do you take 30 minutes to do a button? So like that was like like
Mm-hmm.
if I tell someone now that's just starting out, like, are you kidding me? Even for something as this thing. And I think it comes to the realization that it's nothing worthwhile comes easy, maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
realization. Well, I just find it interesting, like the work just needs doing. So that made me come to this point since we're about to end this stuff, and I'm hoping you enjoy speaking about all of this as I enjoyed talking about it with you. So, but one thing I want to talk about now is like, what's your like design philosophy? And what I mean is like, for me now, I think many people like, I have some friends like basketball, like anime. I think you like anime and music. Some people I know like
Yeah, I
basketball,
do.
anime and music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me now, I think I like quotes. Like I'm always looking for quotes or articles. So this one nice word play, like, oh fuck, this is so good, And
Mm-hmm.
maybe I like anime too. Some specific type of anime like
Mm-hmm.
Blue Lock or something. So
Good
I'm
luck.
just
I
like,
know.
so I'm not curious. Like, okay, what's your philosophy regarding like big design and life? I feel like it's something interesting that I want like to talk about.
Would you like walk me through like what you mean? Like, okay, if I were to ask you, like, let me throw the question to you first. So like, let me hear what's your what's your own take on it, so I can know how to
Okay,
structure my answer. So like, what's your own
okay,
like design philosophy? What would you
okay.
say?
Now I don't know what to say now, but okay, let's see. If I'm being asked what design philosophy is more like yeah, that's I just feel this question weird there. Well, let me think. Well,
Because
I
like,
think
I don't know if you.
I think I would say it's more like maybe not design, then maybe I'll call it life philosophy. Then it's like
Mm-hmm.
there are no shortcuts. Yeah, I think that would be my philosophy. And no
Yeah, yeah,
shortcuts.
yeah, yeah.
What you call
Yes.
yours?
Yeah, I think go like to the shortcuts, but don't be afraid to like do the work that's involved. Don't be afraid to do and enjoy the work because when you stop enjoying it, that's when it becomes like a I don't even call it work, but don't just enjoy the process. Really enjoy the process, and don't overburden yourself. And one thing I try not to do is I try not to like I try not to overburden myself with expectations. Like, oh, you know what, I need to do this, I need to do this. I mean, I know I need to do that, but then I don't like try to like make it a burden for myself. I try to like instead enjoy the car. You see those designs you see me putting out, it's because I enjoy them. Because when I start designing, I don't think I'm going to. Once I don't expect I'm going to take as long as I am. But then once you point like I'm just start enjoying, and then like okay, you know what, this thing is like I'm just enjoying it, and then I enjoy putting more details and more detail. So try and find that what's it called love for it, and try to. I don't know what the motivation may be. No, motivation may be passion, genuine passion. Motivation may be money, maybe like the day, but then for that let that motivation, like let that thing, let it just keep you like motivated. Let it keep you enjoying the craft. Let it keep you enjoying the process of learning and the process of doing that work that's involved in what's it called becoming a better designer, becoming a better person in any career field really. So just enjoy it really. And again, one thing to keep motivated, one thing I always do is I always look up to go back. I look up to people that I call great designers and I look up to people that enjoy like their lifestyle and everything. And I just like try to say, okay, no, I'll be there someday. I'll be. I just need to like keep enjoying the craft until I get to that level. That's it, really.
Yeah. Okay. So now you mentioned that. Who are your top designers that inspire you? Let's say the top five. Let's say top five.
Okay, and it changes. It's funny, I think it changes like for every multiple points and like every question. So when I started out, the people like the person, not the people, the person that really got me to design. I used to like this guy. Oh, this guy, I want to be him. Like it was this guy called Gleb Kuznetsov. Like don't know how to pronounce his name. That guy is really like he's really really good when it comes to like top 1% of designers, best designers in the world. He's actually one of them because like that guy has achieved like the work he does. You don't see it's not work you see every day. It's not work you see every day. It's all things you see like in day to day. Although yes, I want to have that experience in day to day industry, but I also want to do work that people you don't typically come across every day. And then when people see them, they are just mesmerized by it. At some point, I got at some point gotten so lucky, so I get a behind the scene sneak peek at some of their work. So I was putting some of the work that the guy and his team had done, and I was just like, God, like I was lost for words. The way they approach their work, so they do like they do futuristic work, not called futuristic, but their work are actually being implemented into today's product. I was so mesmerized by the work. So he's one of the people that I really look up to. And then you have people like Luke Chisak. I like Luke Chisak's Luke. I'm pronouncing their name very, very wrong. But then
Nigerian chaser, right?
CH Isaac. No. The guy is a French. He's a French guy.
Oh,
So
French. Okay. Okay. I don't
Luke
know the guy
Chisak is
then.
really, really good. So I like his playful approach to UI. I like his playful approach to like UI design. His designs are always like, if once you just feel like a sense of being welcomed by anything he designs. Like his designs are always so good to look at, and like you feel warm and fuzzy inside. I think that's the way I can design the way I feel when I see his work. And then there's this guy Obuja this down, and now he's probably one of everybody's favorite designers because the guy is really good. He's really really good. So I think those are the three that come to my mind. And there's tons of other ones. There's tons of other ones because my interest has always fallen into like design, like UI design. I also like art design in other industries. For example, in the 3D industry, I have this guy Ben Freak. Ben not maybe Frice. I don't know where the FIYs. That's the guy I really like. And then like lots of them across the industry. So yeah, that's as much as I can remember right now. Or there are tons of them. Maybe I could probably do a list of all these that I follow at some point. I just post that so people could see how people that I actually follow.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by. But yeah, there's some of them.
Yeah. I think I'll even collect like this top four you've listed now, so I can add it to the video stuff.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
find
cool.
that very interesting. Um,
Mhm.
I read through your work recently, and the guy said something about the author Austin Kleon said something about when you share work, you should talk about what inspired you, in a way. So people that are viewing your work can like go down the rabbit hole you went through. Yeah. I feel like it's really a good tip. Right now, if I think about who inspires me, I think August is number one. So maybe because I'm just in digital bubble, so I'm wasting his content and every time,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, I have a specific designer. I just go on like inspiration sites and just scroll through.
Mm,
But there's the designer that I
mm,
found recently, like last week. I'm working on this. I'm doing this 100 day challenge where I'm just designing different stuff. So one of the things I'm doing now is a 3D website, and I found a guy when I was looking for 3D websites. His name is Dennis something. He did this. He did this. People that copy his website. He made a website for people that copy his website. Yeah, I know that
Dennis
guy. So
Snellenberg, that's the guy's name. I know
yeah.
Dennis Snellenberg.
So
That's his name.
I saw his work and I just found out that one of the websites I found last year that was crazy to me, damai.com, isn't that design that website? It's like, so it's crazy. So actually, I just like the guy now. I followed him, turn notifications on.
Yeah.
When he posts next time, I'll be looking out for it. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those are the only two people in top of my mind right now. It's funny because I'm not seeing any Nigerians right now. Like, which Nigerian is blowing my mind right now?
Mm.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's me.
They're, I love them. I know good Nigerians. They're tons of good Nigerians. This guy is Zurich's like the bomb. That guy knows
Zurich.
how to do everything. Zurich's.
I don't know him.
Zurich, that's his name. That guy is so good. Like, he does everything. He picked up, he's good at design. Alright, first of all, he's already good at design. He's good at motion. And then he recently picked up, mobile app development. And the guy is already good already. Like, why is he so good at everything? Everything. So yeah, that guy is really good. And then I can't remember all of them. I can't just remember their names right now. But then they are really good Nigerians out there. There's this guy as well. That one does like interactive design. What's his name again? What's their names? But yes, I can share these things again. I'll look for them and then share them out. links and
Yeah,
bios.
sure. We've passed 1 hour already. So I think last question
Mm,
before we call it a day. In fact, two more questions. One is, if you were talking to your younger self, what you tell them, like starting their design career, maybe product design or design? No, you started product design 4 years ago, then design maybe like 7 years ago in total. I'm not sure. What you tell them like
mm,
before they start, like, hey bro, look at me. This is the thing, like
mm.
this is the advice I'll give you,
Can I hear the other question first? So I will know if I can want to answer one and then gravitate
Okay.
into the other
And
because that's actually something I need to figure out.
second question is how what's yeah, it's actually like another two questions again. But like, what's would you which designer do you recommend I reach out to join the podcast for the next episode? Like, I already have like three designers already, but like for the next one, I want like recommendations from you. Who do you think I should reach out to, or who's an interesting designer that I think I could have on the podcast? Yeah, I think
Mm,
that's the question. Yeah.
okay. Okay. So I think I'll start with the first one. I'll start with the first one. So the first one I want to answer is the one about what I'll tell my younger self. So I think I'll tell my younger self to just keep doing things the way I just keep doing things the way I was doing it and keep up with the passion that I'm going to get to this point where I am now. And I wish I could. I think I wish I was still in the future. So like where I was like, oh, I need like really really good or as good as I want to be. I'll say, okay, I have so much to tell my younger self. I have advice to give my younger self. But then at this point, I don't think I've done enough to. I feel like I know I've grown. I know I've grown. But then I don't think I've grown to the point that my younger self did not see myself getting to this point. You get to, but yes, I'll tell myself, the younger self, that I am proud of him. I'm proud that he found his way into like design because one thing, the hardest challenge, the decision made in my life was leaving graphic design because I actually quit my job in graphic design without having a job. I was not knowing what I was going to do next. I just quit my job. I was like, I don't enjoy this thing. I feel good. I just dropped it, and that's how I started. I dropped programming as well without knowing what to do. And then I still found I was able to find my way into your exam. So I would tell my younger self that I'm proud that he found his way into design. He's just keep doing it, and he's going to like find fulfillment. Sorry, find fulfillment and like great enjoyment doing this particular craft and getting it. And he's going to get as good as he wants. Although I'm not really the best here, but then you should just keep doing it, and when he gets to this point, he's going to still get to the next point as well. So that's a good it. A good it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's
And
it.
then for the next question, who I want to see, who I want to see. Let me just quickly answer that before you just go in and wrap up. The next question, who I want to see. I think I would like to hear from. Is it just limited to like UI designers or any kind of designer really?
Any kind of designer, any kind of designer.
Okay. I think I like to see that Zurich guy. I just mentioned that Zurich guy. I want to see him. That guy, I want to hear his because the guy is so passionate. I want to hear what drives him. I want to hear what drives him. I'll look for him and give it to him so you can start pursuing him.
Okay, now thanks. I appreciate that.
Mm.
Um, so I know you have like your on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, on Medium, layers. Like, in
Mm-hmm.
fact, I have a link stored in my folder on my website. Like, I'm using Chrome. Okay, I'm using Arc. So yeah, but like, if you want to direct somebody to a particular platform, so check you out and get inspired by
Mm-hmm.
the craziness you design.
Okay,
Where do you think people should check out?
my okay, I would want you to take my layers because that's where I have like more interesting work currently. My layers where I have like my I catching work. You got to see my what's it called product work ahead of my Behance. Yes, I haven't post on there anymore, but then my layers is where I still like update like regularly and then post like creative stuff. That I can't kind of work into my layers. Really. So from there else you can find my other pages.
Question.
Okay, my question: if I were to get Zurich's on this call, if I were to get that Zurich's on this call, I would like to ask him what drives him, what drives you to create, and also where do you want to get to in your career? Where do you feel like you get to as a designer? Where do you see yourself? Would you be working for Meta? Would you be working for Apple? What do you want to do? And what would you be working with them at? Because I really like that guy's work. I really like his work, and I like not just his work, his general approach to work. Generally, he's always learning, always improving. So yeah, what drives him? And where does he want to be before he feels like that sense of immense and fulfillment?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a good question. So I look forward to like getting connected with him with from you. And yeah, bro, this means a lot, honestly. I really appreciate your time and your flexibility. Like, I know I have messed
Yeah.
up what we did about, man. I'm so happy It made me make it worth it for you. Yo, thank you for watching to the end. I really appreciate you more than you can imagine. Since you watched to the end, I would love to know what feedbacks do you have for me, from the audio to the design, motion design, and the likes. Let me know. Please just give me some feedback. I would love to learn from it and improve it in the next videos I make. By the way, if you're also interested in getting some free resources on Webflow, learning new skills and the likes, or in templates, Notion templates to help you get your life together, I have lots of links in the description below, so check them out and use them to your advantage. Don't forget to check out Victor's profile on Leah's on YouTube and Twitter, and check mine out as well. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.